Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. I want to remind you of a couple things. First of all, Convocation is this Friday, May 16th at 6 p.m. We have this one and May 30th are our last convocations before recital on June 7th. So if you want a practice before the big performance, come and sign up for that. The sign up is out. I emailed everybody for the May 16th one, and the May 30th one will be out earlier that week. So we would love to have you and time to get good feedback and some practice before the recital. We are also offering two new things this summer. First of all, we are going to have a chorus this summer, an adult chorus. And so we have a nice group of women who are doing this chorus thus far for the summer. That will be 6 rehearsals over the course of the summer. They're going to be getting together to figure out when the rehearsals are going to be. If you're interested, please reach out at hello@raleigh.schoolofmusic.com and we'll send you all the information about that. And then the performance will be when we do all the recitals at the end of August. And so please join us for the adult chorus. And they'll be doing a bunch of different styles of music. So it'll be fun. Also, we are offering a Pilates class. This is my first class that I'll be teaching. It's open to everyone, parents, students, anybody who might be interested. It'll be on Sundays starting in July. It is just pay as you go. It's $10 per class. It's probably going to be outside, but there might be times where we're inside as well. We have an inside space on our stage. So if you were interested in Pilates and getting strong and lots of core strength kind of things, come and join us. And I'll be also adding in somatic stuff. So this might not feel like any Pilates class you've ever taken, but I'm very excited about teaching it. And I've been working hard, training to get ready for it. So please, hello@raleigh.schoolofmusic.com if you're interested. Okay, so today I want to rant. I want to rant. I haven't ranted in a while, but I've got to rant. Anybody who knows me, anybody who's around me knows I cannot stand technology. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know there are good things. It brings innovation. I can't stop it from happening and stopping from new technologies to from being made, but I don't like it. Even if it does some good things, I think there are more negatives than positives. And the biggest thing I don't like about technology, and I'm including social media, telephones, everything, any way that we're communicating on devices in this, it is making everything too easy. It makes communication too easy. It makes connection too easy. It makes looking up things. It makes learning too easy. And on its face, what's wrong with learning something very fast and having this little computer in our hands where we can access it? And what's wrong with that? Well, you know what's wrong with that is that when we expect that same thing in other areas of our life, that is going to be just that easy with other areas. And for being a musician being one of those, right? We see that we're able to access any song that we want to listen to, any artist, we can see them up close on YouTube and watch what they do, or we can listen to them, or we can get their lyrics, or we can get their history, or we can do all this stuff. Do you know when I was in music school and when I was in college, there was no such thing as YouTube at this point. We had to go to the music library to go check out a CD and check out the sheet music to learn about songs, to learn about musicians and composers and all of that. We had to take that time. Now, at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a pain. But now I look back on it, it prepared me to be able to do hard things. I knew that I had to work for this. This is not something that I was going to be able to do easily. So therefore, that taught me as I was learning how to sing, as I was learning the different aspects that like it was not going to be an easy thing. That if it didn't come easy, I stop, right? Because I didn't think that everything in this life came easy. But I think now technology has taught us everything comes easy. If it's not easy, we don't do it anymore. So I think technology has made being a human in community too easy because we can just talk to anyone on chats or anything like that. But also being a musician makes it our perception of what it means to be a musician has changed because we think it's all supposed to be easy. Uh, um, I also think that the emphasis with technology is on the technology itself, is on the innovation. It's how far we can go, right? And said not the long-term plan, not the long-term work. One could argue, well, then you access this information, you access whatever it is very fast, then you have time to do other things. What are you doing with that time? Are you doing the other things? Are you, for instance, if you have to learn a piece of music and you've learned it by watching someone singing it on YouTube or whatever, you know the song, are you taking the rest of that time to make that music your own? Are you practicing or are you scrolling on your phone? I don't necessarily think technology is taking away as giving us extra time at all. I think it is taking up more of our time from being connected to people, actually having dialogue with people, actually doing the thing, whatever the thing might be, whatever the interest might be. If that happens to be music, you're taking away from it because you're spending your time on this device. I cannot stand technology. Cannot stand it. I also think when we do communicate with each other, people have no manners when it comes to being online, and they want what they want right then, and there is no sense of being polite. We give each other our opinions, we cancel each other, we become keyboard warriors to if someone doesn't believe or agree with what we're about and whatever people are putting out there, then we get people to cancel that. And I think that is a direct result of technology, that we would never have that sense of that gall if we were in person doing that to each other. We lose our humanity. We lose our humanity. I would rather not know the answer to a question and still be able to connect with the people around me than to go always be going to the internet to get my answers and never connecting with anybody ever. We have forgotten how to communicate with each other. We have forgotten how to work together. We have forgotten how to look at a piece of music and analyze it ourselves and again make it our own, and to when we practice our technique and how things feel easy or hard or we're using too much muscle or all of that, when would we ever know that if we were spending our time on this device? Also, I think that, and this might surprise you considering the number of reviews we have, I cannot stand online reviews. I think of it as a means to an end because we are in this day and age, because of all this, we have to be online. I would rather not be online. I'd rather not have an online presence, to be honest, but which I know is ironic since I'm sitting here on YouTube talking to you now. I think of online reviews as a means to an end, but I think that any kind of reviews like that, where you're not actually talking to the person and it becomes a statement or a bullying or a way to control or a way to box someone in. I think that this stuff has become too easy. And I think that canceling is the absolute worst thing about technology. We didn't have canceling like that back before the internet. And I was alive a long time before the internet came. And we were just fine. We had enough on our plates before all that. And now we just have more ways now for people to have bad behavior. And we are more divided and divisive than ever, and we are more stuck in the way we think. And I get the irony of that as well, because I feel like I am stuck in this mindset. Please, if you have another opinion on this, I'd love to hear it. I know that there are good things about innovation out there. I know that there's good things about technology. I know there are. I mean, I know there are. And maybe we'll talk about how, and another show at some point, I can rant about the how we can find the good in technology, how we can use that for good. But I think the negatives outweigh the positives. And I am a traditionalist. I believe in the traditional way of learning music. Doesn't mean that's the only way, that there's not another way out there, there's not another viewpoint that is just as valid. I think the traditional way of learning music, going into the practice room and taking the time to look at your music, learning the foundational aspects of music, of how to play your instrument from an expert, from a teacher, not from technology, from an expert, someone who is there with you, who has got that attunement, someone who has got that perspective, and that I don't know, that history, that then they can go and tell you how to their perspective, right? Don't go online and use that as the end all be all. It lacks emotion. It lacks nuance. Nuance. The technology that is going on is taking away tradition. There's got to be innovation. I realize it's never going to stop. I can't stop it from happening. I can't control it. But does it also have to take away tradition too? Can't we have both? Can't there be both? It doesn't feel like it. It feels very black and white. It feels like we change or we shut up. I think we are doing ourselves a disservice. I think that we are going to forget even something, this is so specific, but I've talked about this before. Do you know that singers have a frequency inside of them, if they're utilizing the breath and the muscle correctly, that goes above any instrument in the orchestra? It is called the singer's formant. It is this amazing thing, how we can utilize the breath in our bodies, how it comes out can affect being able to literally amplify ourselves without any technology above any instrument. That's where in the big concert halls in Germany, where there's like these double orchestras, these mega orchestras, these women are and these men are singing these huge roles, but they are heard without any amplification. If we continue to rely on technology, which I think we have an over reliance on it now, but if we continue to rely on it, that's not where is the need for the singer's formant? And eventually it's going to stop being taught. Because what's the need if we don't have amplification that's just as good? It takes away the tradition. It takes away all of the work of our forefathers, the people, all the, hundreds of years that we were doing this. It just takes it away in one swipe. No, we are losing some basic connecting skills. Just in humanity, we don't know how to talk to each other anymore. We don't know how to relate to each other anymore. We don't try. We don't put any effort into it anymore. And we get frustrated when it's not happening. I do not like technology. Change my mind. Please change my mind. Please tell me that there is hope for music. Please tell me that there is hope for humanity. We've got to learn how to not over rely on this thing. Because all I see, I walk around outside, all I see is people's heads in their phones. That's all I ever see anymore. It's all I ever see. And I'm sitting here ranting to you, and I know that I'm looking at technology too all the time. I don't want to. I maybe I need to be the change, right? I need to be, like, It's not making us any happier. It's not making us any better humans for the most part. We are more disconnected than ever. Technology makes things too easy. So then we spend our time wasting our time looking at what our friends are doing on Instagram. We're not any happier. We're more miserable than ever. On that note, maybe we challenge ourselves this week. I wonder if I could even go a week without looking at my phone. That's very hard as a music school owner. I don't know. I have to think about that. I'd have to, maybe I could pick a week this summer that I could do that. I do not. What if technology failed? What if we had some strange solar storm and all the power went down and we couldn't get it back on? What would we do? What would we do? We would not know what to do. We would not know how to thrive and survive. We would not. We are so reliant on it now. I almost wish that would happen. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Anyway, that I don't want to put that energy out there. If you have something to say, if you agree, disagree, let me know. Maybe I'm being a fuddy duddy. Maybe I'm just being an old fogey. I just want things to go back the way they used to be. I just think it is making things unnecessarily hard, but in a different way. All right. I'll talk to you. Have a good one. Bye.